Okay, so welcome back everyone. So this is the second video that I thought I would do with a continuation of my Transplanting 101 series. So the first one I focused just on transplanting plants from one small pot into a bigger one with minimal disturbance. This one I'm going to be focusing on the actual splitting of the plant. So there is going to come a time when your plants will outgrow their pots. So as you can see on my cephalotus here, she has nearly filled up the entire pot and she needs to be split. And you can see there's a lot of baby plants inside this one, so she will need to be split very soon. But for today, to make it simpler and easier to see, I'm going to focus on this Venus flytrap blood moon. So if you guys are able to see that, there are a number of little plants that are sort of growing out in this one. So I'm now going to show you how to actually split this plant into a whole lot of simpler plants. So this one does have a lot of stress towards the plant. So this kind of transplanting, or splitting should I say, is only really recommended during winter when the plant is in dormancy. Also, while we're about it, you will see that there are little flower buds on this plant. I don't know how well we can see, but they look like little golf balls on the top. You see over there. In the first year of your plant's life, it is always recommended to cut these flower stalks off as close to the crown as possible, because these flowers, and if we can see this, these flowers take a lot of energy from the parent plant. So this one is nice and established. She's about 2 to 3 years old, so you can let her flower. But when you do buy plants, I always suggest for the first year, don't let the plants flower. But anyway, that's another story whatsoever. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take this plant out of its pot and we are going to split it. Have your potting mixture and your new pots already with you. As always, make sure that the potting mixture is thoroughly wet before you transplant. Peat moss and sphagnum moss is naturally very water retardant initially, so it does take a while for the peat moss to absorb water. So this has already been pre-soaked, so it is nicely wet. Alright, let's get our trays out. Right, so we are going to tip the plant upside down and take it out of its pot. We are then literally going to break, move close to the camera, we are literally now going to break this plant up completely from the root ball. Right, so once you've got as much of the soil off as possible that you can with your hands, get a spray bottle and rinse off the root ball as much as you can to expose most of the roots. While doing that, you will notice, just see if we can try to zoom in a bit here. Right, so you will notice that the plant is already starting to fall apart. So when you've got all the soil loose, you will literally gently pull the plant aside, and that's why I say get as much of the soil off the root as you possibly can to prevent any root breakages. But you are literally going to pull the plants apart. You will notice how easily it actually comes apart. Right, so out of that one plant, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little, well, not little, but 5 extra plants that we can now expand our collection with. So we're going to take your new plants, get my favorite tool set out, and fill the pot right to the very top with fresh carnivorous plant soil. Okay. Again, resist the urge to compress the soil, just press it down very lightly. You want to keep that soil mix nice and airy. Right, once the plant pot is full to the surface, and the reason why I say full it right to the surface is because when you do water it, that soil will naturally compress. So right to the surface, then we're going to get your smaller little shovel and directly in the middle make a hole as deep as the root is going to be. So this is about pretty much at the bottom of the pot, so I'm going to make that hole right down, and then I'm going to take the new plant and stick it inside that hole, right, and then just very gently we are going to compress the soil around the root. Okay, again, resist the urge to press too hard. I know it's going to seem like it's not enough, but trust me, you don't want to have the soil too tight around the root ball. Okay, then you can top it up with a bit more soil to keep the plant upright. Gently pressing down with your fingers and your shovel, or little spade, actually not a shovel. A shovel's a huge big thing, isn't it? Again, water. The plant was very gentle spray of water, which helps compress the soil and make sure that the roots are in touch with the soil. Until you see water coming out the bottom of the pot. There we go. Then you know the plant is nice done. And then, as always, I spray very liberally with Novion all over the leaves, inside the traps. As I've mentioned before, Novion is a super biostimulant to the plant. It encourages growth, it helps release stress, and particularly with transplanting and splitting like this, the plant is undergoing a lot more stress than it normally would. Novion will help alleviate that. So there we have it. We will then obviously complete the same for all 5 of the new baby plants. Keep them in water about 1 to 2 centimeters like you would your normal plants. And voila, you have 5 extra babies to add to your collection. Hope the video has helped. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to get out to me. Till then, happy growing.